Hello everybody, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I'm the INSANEBRIT, and today we are going to be talking about E3 2021 and the companies that have been added to the list of participants this year. Also, there's going to be some big names who have pulled out of the actual digital only show, which is understandable because of the T virus. There was rumors they were trying to charge people for watching it, and I'm like, that ain't gonna happen because I ain't gonna pay for it. I never pay for it. I'm just a gamer. I watch the show. You get my view time, and if what needs be, I will just essentially go watch a big YouTuber with about 400,000 people do a reaction video to it, essentially. Like, it's really, I ain't going to be paying for it. Essentially, it is going to be free, and they scrapped that idea, and rightly so, because without us gamers, you ain't got a show. Who you broadcasting to? It's just ridiculous. And you want, and it's irrelevant, because whatever money you was going to be losing, based on the ticket sales, as it were, you know, those companies would like lose millions and millions more instead of people not knowing about their games, especially if you're an indie company. Absolutely ridiculous that idea in itself. So yeah, State of Play happened a few days ago, or about a week or two ago now at this point, and State of Play was massively underwhelming. The criticism was that people should have known, especially on Twitter, they were going on about, oh, they tweeted out what was going to be shown, it isn't their fault that you didn't know. Well, as a content creator or gamer, I follow loads of different companies, and I'm going to miss that tweet. There's hundreds of tweets, and I'm not going to, unless I really look into it, which I don't, because I prefer, as a fan of gaming, as a consumer, customer, or what have you, or someone who puts out content, I personally, even then, I still don't like to know what's going to be coming at the event, as it were. I don't like to research it too much. I like to be surprised. I like to speculate who's going to win the battle. Would it be E3, Xbox? Yes, it was on the PlayStation State of Play, but I didn't want to go into what there was going to be shown. I wanted to be wooed, kind of thing, like, wow, look at this amazing thing that's coming out for PlayStation. I always trust PlayStation to do something good, and essentially it was like a 30-minute demo of Ratchet and Clank, which, yes, I'll play at some point probably, but at the same time I just didn't care for it, and I was like disappointed and underwhelmed with that particular show slash State of Play. Even Nintendo, and basically Sony is not even showing up at E3 2021, which says a lot to me. But at the same time, Nintendo, who runs the Nintendo Direct, are going to be there. So, I'm speculating a new Switch. I think that might be coming out. It's going to be showing some hardware, obviously some games. They got a new Pokemon game out as well. And God knows what else they're going to be coming up with. I think Quest Builders as well, Dragon Quest Builders 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I think there's one out just recently, so they'll probably want to show that off as well. Anyway, 10 more companies have been added up and to participate in E3's 2021's all-digital show with major news and reveals. E3 2021 has added more high-profile participants. The ESA, which organizes E3 every year, announced on Thursday that 10 additional companies will participate, including Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, Gearbox. Gearbox, I believe, do the Gearbox do the Borderlands series. Maybe there's going to be an updated version of Borderlands 3 on the next gen console, possibly a new IP, or will they be coming out with Borderlands 4 for next gen? That'd be interesting. Again, I don't know too much about Gearbox, but I know they make Borderlands, so again, that's just speculation on my part, but who knows. Turtle Beach, so I believe they're going to come out with new hardware for the next gen consoles, possibly headphones and God knows what. Verizon, that is an internet company, so I can only imagine they're going to be coming out with a streaming service, dare I say, or could it be some kind of VR? Possibly. I don't think they're going to be making games. I can't see that, but I could definitely see them doing some kind of streaming service, gaming related, or maybe it's something to do with movies. Who knows? I don't know. Again, I'm unfamiliar with that company. All I know is they do internet stuff, so maybe it'd be. I'm thinking VR or a streaming service. Some others, some of the others newly announced participants include Exceed Games, never heard of them. Marvelous USA, never heard of them. Freedom Games, never heard of them. Devious Eye Entertainment and Bing.com. Bing.com. Okay, so I'm assuming that's got to be VR or something like that. I mean, they don't do what? I can't see. I don't know what Bing's being there. I mean, they're participating. They're not actually just a sponsor, they are participating, so I don't know what they're going to be revealing. According to the ESA, these companies will have major announcements and reveals for E3, which runs from June 12th to 15th this year, a digital-only event. E3 2021 is set to continue its legacy as a premier video game industry event. We add new publishers, sponsors, partners. ESA President CEO Stanley Pierre-Louis said in a statement, "We can't wait to share more details about the virtual event for audiences around the globe." The announcement of these 10 additional partners comes just days after Konami announced it had pulled out of E3 2021. You can see the full list below, blah, blah, blah. And I'll get to the list in a little bit. Konami have pulled out. Now, they have PES. They do own Metal Gear. I don't know what else they own. I really couldn't care less. Those are their two flagship games for me. If they have something major else, leave it in the comment section below. I couldn't care less. I'm a FIFA person anyway. PES, I know got the licenses for Napoli now, Juventus, and one other team, maybe Dortmund. I'm not too sure. Again, this selling of names is ridiculous, but whatever, it is what it is. I don't care about PES regardless. They do have Metal Gear, but again, I don't think they're going to be doing anything with that. But again, they've pulled out, so they're not ready to do anything with anything product that they've actually got. There was a rumor that Xbox was going to be buying Metal Gear Solid off of Konami. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. I would love to see them do that, buy that franchise, because it would just breathe new life into that series. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I love all the games. I would have played 4 for my channel, you know, before I played the 5th one. That is on my channel, by the way. Don't forget to check that out. But yeah, so Metal Gear Solid being bought by Xbox would be really cool. I'd love to see that happen. But again, so Konami are out. Sony are out with their state of play. Ugh. So they're out of it. Okay, so who we got left? Nintendo, again, I don't know all the games that are going to be coming out of. So I'm just going to throw out Mario, a Dragon Quest building game. Couldn't tell you really. Maybe a Luigi's Mansion 3 or 2 or whatever it is. I think they had 2 out, didn't they? Again, I don't know much about Nintendo. I don't play it. Xbox, I can't really think what they're going to come out with. Again, I'm not looking into too much detail because I don't want to spoil the show for myself. But Xbox should be coming out with something big. And essentially, the E3, the battle between Xbox and Sony is just going to be won by Xbox. I hope Xbox pulls something out the bag, because we're counting on them now for this year's E3, because State of Play was shit. Sony ain't even there. So Xbox, you can run home with the show. You've got to hit a, dare I say, a home run, a touchdown, whatever. You know, you knock it out the park, whatever kind of, you know, what's that word I'm looking for? Analogy you wanna use. They got a real good chance to show off what they got this year, Xbox. So I hope they make the most of it. Capcom have a slew of games. They've got Monster Hunter, so I think they'll be showing that off. Maybe DLC for it, even though it's on the Switch. I would love to see a Monster Hunter on the PS5 next gen. That would be incredible. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to focus on the Switch, say some DLC, expansion pack, and that's fair play. Get on with it. But I would love to see that in the future, Capcom. Also, I'd love to see Dino Crisis 2 remade completely for the PS5. Thank you. I'm wishing for that every year, Capcom. You always break my heart. No doubt about it. It's going to be Resident Evil stuff in there. Resident Evil 8, The Village, is out, but I suspect they're going to be showing maybe DLC for that or something like that. I can see that happening. Ubisoft is going to be there, so I'm going to throw out Assassin's Creed. There'll probably be Rainbow Six DLC or a new Rainbow Six or Rainbow... Is it Rainbow Six? Rainbow Six 7? I don't know, whatever. The next Rainbow Six, I can see that happening for Ubisoft. I believe they run that, don't they? Can't think what else they do, actually. I can just think of Assassin's Creed. And I never do one other series I like. Oh, and possibly a Far Cry. They're probably promoting that as well. Can't wait to see the new Far Cry as well. So... yeah, that's going to be interesting. Take-Two, I don't know what they do, actually. So I'm going to stay away from that company. Warner Bros, again, they do some decent work. Again, I can't think of any games off the top of my head that they do. Square Enix, possibly a Final Fantasy. Maybe some DLCs to one. Again, they got a slew of games as well. I would love to see Kingdom Hearts 4. I believe they make that. So that'd be kind of interesting if we get that. Again, that's just me speculating, you know, throwing out names of what I would like to see. Koch Media, I've never heard of them. Sega, again, they do... I see their names thrown up here and there. I'm not too sure what Sega do. I really don't. They just attach their name to games. Um, Bandai Namco makes a few good games as well. Not particularly games that I play. I think I played one or two and they were decent. But again, it's not a company that I play consistently like Ubisoft or whatever, you know. Gearbox, again, I spoke about Borderlands, so maybe Borderlands 4, Turtle Beach, Verizon, Bing, Devious Entertainment, Freedom Games, and Marvelous USA. Again, companies I don't really know. So maybe they're going to come up with a couple of indie games thrown in there with those games that I don't know. I can see maybe some platformers, maybe we're seeing some 2D games as well. Again, I'm not a huge fan of those types of games, but it is what it is. You know, it takes all sorts to make up the show, so there's going to be a big variety there. But again, it's a big chance for Xbox to knock it out the park, as it were, and just dominate this and be the absolute, and will be the absolute talking point. So it's going to be quite easy for them. Or I swear to God, Xbox, you better make it, you better do something, because if you don't, you're just going to look like even worse than you've looked in the previous years. And you've looked terrible in previous years. This time you have no real competition. You really don't. With your, you know, when I talk about all these companies and Ubisoft and Capcom and Square Enix, I have a chance to buy on PS5 and I have a chance to buy an Xbox or whatever. So, you know, and that's my choice to make. So guys, you have to come out with something big to make me go, wow, Xbox, wow, I really want to play this. Halo probably is going to be shown up there as well. That's going to got to be a given. A new Gears maybe. You know, you got to make those two big games talking points this year's E3 2021. Even if I have to wait a year to get the games, you have to make it a talking point. You have to knock it out of the park and just wreck everyone else, and make that a priority for us gamers to say, we want the next Halo, we want the next Gears. These are the games. These are the best games that in my top 5 that I want to play coming up in 2021 and what have you. So yeah, it's all down to Xbox. It really is. I'll be honest with you, Xbox. I don't really. You can't fuck this up. You know what I mean? I mean, if you fuck this up, I just don't know what to do with you. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. The ESA said developers will showcase the latest news direct to fans around the world. Yes, for digital format. For more than 2 decades, E3 premier venue showcase. Yes, yes, yes. We're evolving this year's E3 into a more inclusive event, but will be excite fans of major reveals, insider opportunities, indispensable center stage for video games. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, it just goes on to a lot of advertising. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but guys, definitely looking forward to E3. 100%. I can't wait for it. Xbox, you cannot fuck this up. You really can't. Ubisoft, I'm thinking Assassin's Creed. Just say, I'm just going to throw it out there, generic. Far Cry is going to be a given. Capcom, a Final Fantasy. I would love to see a Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love to, though. It'd be really cool if we did. You know, Dino Crisis 2. We won't talk about Dino Crisis 3, where the dinosaur was in space. We won't talk about that. But, yeah. It's going to be a good event. I've no doubt about that. Lots of series that I know I'm looking forward to seeing, and hopefully they can bring out some brand new series, new IPs to look forward to. I'll be looking out for what Nintendo are doing, but I'll also be looking at these other companies that I haven't really heard of and see what they're doing as well. But yeah, I always feel that if you come out with a new streaming service, we see it with one or two other big companies, and the what's that? Google came out, Google Stadia. It didn't really take hold. And it just kind of died off, and it's like been left by the wayside kind of thing. So I'm very skeptical of Verizon and all that coming in with their streaming services and what have you. I mean, you've got what's that other company that was there as well? It's like Steam. They're not very well liked right now. That's not Gearbox. It's I can't remember. They basically have the rights to a couple of games. Epic Games Store is kind of a rival to Steam, or trying to compete with Steam, and it's like, most gamers don't want to have to switch from Steam to go to Epic Games, and you have to have an account there, and then you buy it there, you've got to go through their service. Pain in the arse. I'm very much about convenience, so I always stick with Steam. PlayStation or Xbox is just switching one console to the other, so I can just buy whatever game is available and I prefer to play it on, just by switching a system on. I don't have to log into or go through the whole process of accounts and passwords. It's already done there, logged in for me, kind of nice and easy. I just can't bother to go to separate websites and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a box at the end of the day on my table kind of thing, so it's more convenient. But anyway, I'm looking forward to E3. I think Xbox should do something massive, and I'm hoping they do something big to make everyone just talk about them, or make them 100% a priority in the top 3 or 4 or 5 games that I want to play this year. Looking forward to the event. I hope you guys are too. I'll be tweeting out about it as well, like when it happens. I'll be, talking about what's coming out, what my thoughts and feelings and opinions on whatever games are coming out. Let me know in the comment section below what games you want to come out of this year's E3. Are you disappointed Sony won't be there? The Last of Us, by the way, not The Last of Us, Naughty Dog will not be there this year. You notice that? I didn't mention Naughty Dog. They're not going to be there. There is already a script for The Last of Us 3 being written. They've got a framework for the story as well, I've heard. It could have been a separate video, but I just throw it in here. That essentially they've got the framework for the story, whether they go ahead, they've got a bunch of different stories and they want to run a narrative, so they'll be working on that. So yeah, it's all going to plan with Naughty Dog. That's why they're not being mentioned in this year's E3. I'm not disappointed in that. I kind of understand it. They've got work to do. Pull out of it, have a year or two off, create games, create the game, come back in stronger. They're not ready yet, simple as. So it's interesting that they're not going to be there this year. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links will be in the description below, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.